I'd like to share a story with you. A story of two Boy Scouts, their amazing family, and a journey that they'll never forget. Now, I've always known that the Boy Scouts of America helps to build character in young men, define values, and strengthen families. But until I met the Shirtlett family, I never really understood just how important that was.
As a kid, one of my first memories of scouting was going to a pack meet, and at the pack meet they were racing Pinewood Derby cars. And my dad and I had worked really hard on a Pinewood Derby car, though I wasn't of age yet. And so I'm just there, and I got to race all the others' cubs at that time. And I think I look at that point and I think that's where I fell in love with scouting.
And just like his father did for him, Tad passed along his love and passion for scouting to both of his sons.
I've been doing scouting for 9 years, and scouting becomes a part of the person that you want to become, and it shows you the goals that you want to achieve and what's good and what's not good.
Both boys had the same drive and passion, just like their father had in scouting. They achieved the rank of Life Scout in what seemed to be the blink of an eye.
It's good to me because I've dedicated that time towards scouting to get all my merit badges, to get like my achievements and my ranks. I use that in my daily life to get my schoolwork done or to focus on soccer.
Every waking moment had purpose for this family, supporting and encouraging all three of their children to participate in any activity which may interest them. Mom and Dad, their biggest fans, right by their side every step of the way.
We tell them, all three of them, quite frequently how proud we are of them. I don't think they will ever understand. We could not be more honored that we get to be the ones to raise you.
Life is a funny thing. You may think that you have everything under control, but you don't. And sometimes, usually when you least expect it, she may throw you a curveball, just to test your resolve.
As Clay was starting to draw back away from things, he was really skinny. And he'd always been a very skinny boy.
But this was a different skinny. He was in pain because it hurt for him to walk. His legs hurt, his muscles hurt, and his joints hurt.
And as we noticed that, we took him to the doctor, and then we spent about 4 hours at the doctor, and he really kind of didn't know what was going on.
And so he did the blood work, and he didn't send us to a lab. He drew the blood right there, and he said, "We will see you back in 3 days, or we'll call you if we find anything out sooner."
Less than 24 hours later, Tabitha received a phone call and was asked to bring Clay back to the hospital as fast as they could get there. Clay was formally diagnosed with chronic myelogenous leukemia.
So we both kind of take a minute, and we said, okay, what's the next step? And both of us we teared up and we figured it out, but we knew where we needed to be. And it wasn't sitting on a gurney in another room crying. It was compose, let's go figure this out.
I mean, we had to grow a little bit too, because we had to be strong at that point. And I walked in, and when we told him, we prepared him. We're going to tell you something it's hard, it's bad, but I want you to be strong, and you're going to be okay.
Clay's white blood cell count was dangerously high, and he would need a bone marrow transplant to survive. The doctors and nurses in Las Vegas worked for weeks to get Clay's white blood cell count under control. They knew that they had a long road ahead with the chemotherapy, but the Shurtlifts' first prayers were answered when the doctors found a bone marrow donor match. That person was Clay's big brother, Cole.
When he found out that his brother needed a bone marrow transplant, his answer to me was, why wouldn't I do it? How could I not do that for my brother? He was so willing to do that, not even really understanding the consequences and how many pokes he was going to have in his hips to get a liter of bone marrow. That's quite a bit. He ended up with over 100 pokes over both sides of his hip bones. But it didn't just start there. It started with his scouting and with family, and how it gave him the strength to know, I'm going to beat this. I'm stronger than anything else out there, and I'm more stubborn than this.
6.5 months after being diagnosed, Clay reached chemical remission and was quickly transferred to Primary Children's Hospital in Utah, where the actual bone marrow transplant process would begin. 29 days later, the family received the news that they had waited so very long to hear.
And they came in and they said, he's there, he's made it, you guys can go home.
They are my heroes in the fact, each of them, in the fact that they have come through so much.
Clay and Cole Shurtleff. They are brothers, role models, heroes. They are Boy Scouts. Please support your local Boy Scouts. They just might be our future.